Welcome to Beyond the Brink. This is the show that discusses global events that are pushing people to their limits and driving them to the brink of change. I'm your host, Melissa. Christy is on assignment tonight, and so we have special guest Simon Says Crypto that's joining. And we welcome everybody who's tuning in. If you'd be so kind as to like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff, if you're on watching us live on YouTube, and then this will also be posted to Rumble at some point, and we're here live on X Spaces, and it gets easier every time, kind of, sorta. Welcome, Simon. Thank you so much for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I feel honored to be here and try to fill this seat where Christy does. She is a bad mother plucker when it comes to this type of topic and information. Like she really, she has this way of asking. I wouldn't say like the hard questions, but like these like they're like borderline hard questions. But we can, but they're like a discovery question, and she just has that. And I love that.
Well, she really reels me in too. So I tend to squirrel every now and then.
maybe that's what it is. You're the horse and she's the trainer. Back to work.
I am definitely in training, that's for sure. So, well, I have to make a confession here.
It's not Sunday.
Well, during the weekend in this earlier in the week, there was just all kinds of stuff going on, and November is going to be a big month, all this news and chatter going on, and so I thought, oh great, Christy and I talked, and it's like, let's talk about that. And then I got home from work today because I have a 9-to-5er. And I drew a complete blank. So this is going to be free willied tonight. And I would really appreciate any of your input because there really is so much stuff going on, isn't there, Simon?
There is. I've actually my focus, not really intentional focus. It's just kind of what's come across my field. Has actually been all about the Iraqi dinar.
Oh,
Just what Iraq's central bank is doing, them trying to or achieving to get back on the world stage as far as business, commerce, or trade, that type of thing. So that's actually been really interesting to I'd say listen to and watch develop, but it's not like I'm in that deep per se. But I'll tell you what, with everything that's going on, that's actually grabbed my attention the most. And that's probably because I have literally hit the brink on a whole other slew of topics that I'm like, oh, thank you. Some progress in a positive way, even if other people don't like it. Iraq seems to be moving in a positive direction, and they're in this hot zone of the world right now. I mean, it's always been a hot zone, let's be real, to some degree, right? At least that's what the news tells us, but I'm not going to go down the news rabbit hole right now. But they've actually stayed out of this altercation that's going down there in on the Gaza Strip and all that. With all the other countries that are participating in that at some level, it seems like they've just stayed out of it thus far. So right. I found that kind of interesting that they're able to do that, and they've just focused on, we got other things to do. You guys can have your horrible drama that's taking place over there, and we're gonna try to get back on our feet because we already went through some drama.
Where do you think that dinar is gonna go? I mean,
Okay, so
speculation like
ooh, I
crazy.
like speculation. We can speculation $1 million. No. So I was actually listening to a summary video, and through that summary video, somebody reading a whole bunch of other opinions and information, etc. And one of the individuals that was giving out information says that they thought it might go back to before there was U.S. sanctions. And I found that interesting. Like, I didn't know sanctions could play that hard of a role on another country's currency, right? I'm like, huh. But that would make sense, right? That's how you really slap it to another country, right? That's how you give them the old a bigger slap on the wrist per se for doing some horrible things or whatever it was, which is a slew of things. I'm not going to get into that, but so I did a little research. First thing that came up, according to Google's, I saw what the price was, or the ratio, US dollars to Iraqi dinars, and that was $3 US to 1 Iraqi dinar. Now, and then I saw some other ones like 1995, or just before that, it was like $1.50. So $1.50 to 1 Iraqi dinar. And I was like, well, the hell you say? Well, how much can 100, like, I got $100 right now. How much Iraqi dinars can I get? So you can get 100,000 Iraqi dinars, give or take a few percentage points here and there, for basically $100 plus $3 fee and blah, blah, blah. I was like, so I'm really hoping that those sanctions go away and it goes back to there, because, hey, not a bad $100 scratch ticket. And honestly, that's what I'm treating this as, even, and more of a, it's really just the experience. Like, here is this event that could take place where we're going to see some type of revaluation. And for years, and I remember this too, when the Iraq war broke out, we went over there, all the crap that went on. But I remember hearing about people saying, oh, there's going to be a revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Get some. I mean, that was like 10 years ago. I know people today that bought back then, and they're still sitting on them. They're still sitting on them, right? I mean, they're not going to sell it, or exchange it or whatever. And so honestly, really, I really hope for all those people that have held that long, that this really works out good for you. That you get, I mean, if it even came up to, I think it's like 3 zeros and a 1 right now, or it's like 3 zeros and a 13. Maybe it's 4 zeros and a 13. I really think it's 3 zeros and a 1 3. So basically, what is that? 100th of a penny? Yeah, 100th of a penny, right? Is one of their dollars equals 100th of a penny to ours, or something like that. So if it was like the Iraqi dinar came up to like 10 cents, so one of our 10 cents equals one of their dollars. For people that invested in that, that would be, let's see, a 10, 100. I think that might be 1,000x, 1,000% increase.
That would be incredible.
Or maybe, or somewhere in there. I might be wrong. It could be 100. If you drop one, I think so. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna pull up the calculator on the old PC here and do some quick math. So if you bought $100 divided by point, so, man, I'm getting the old stickeroo there. That's not right. Maybe it's a tenth then, because it said 729,000 Iraqi dinars. No, that's not what I got the other day. So not what I got the other day. 0.001. Let's try that. That's right. Okay. So they're a tenth of a penny right now, right? So if it went up to 10 cents, so 100,000 times 0.10, that's $10,000. Right. So yeah. That's that's 1,000% then, I guess, or 100%, or a X. It's 100x.
That would be incredible.
That would be absolutely amazeballs.
I mean, well, here's the thing, in anybody that's giving this any of their attention at all, which most people that I know are not, um, even getting your dip in a toe, which I know this is beyond the brink, but just
Well, if you get beyond the brink, you better
right,
start dipping your toe. You better
right.
start dipping your toe if you get beyond the brink.
Well, I am beyond the brink to where I'm just consuming so much information right now. And, a lot of people are, they say, oh, it's wasting your time and whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm becoming more and more educated and enlightened. And I'm meeting so many people and having all these conversations, and I'm trying to figure this stuff out. And, I think I've said it before. I don't know everything. I don't. I'm not trying to say that I do, but I do know enough that to know that there's something really big happening, and all of the clues point to that. And if you can get in on the ground floor of something that's going to be so transformational and I mean mind blowing, it's worth your effort to give it some attention and try to figure some of this stuff out. Now you bought yourself some Iraqi dinar, right? How did you go about doing that?
Well,
Was tell
you
anybody
you
you
have
bought it? Sorry.
you have to call a guy by the name of Dave. Dave is a
Dave.
code name for operator. Then he gives you a location, and then you have to meet him, and you have to be wearing a white trench coat with a briefcase. Kidding, very much kidding. So I was curious on how to get them. Been curious for a while, but not curious enough to do the homework. So a lot of people in the dinar currency space, they were going to various different websites, places like eBay, even, and buying some. And I was like, I'm just that doesn't feel right. That'd be like if you bought your Bitcoin on eBay. Oh, I got my Bitcoin on eBay. Well, how do you know it's real?
Yeah.
That was always my concern, right? How do you know it's real? Or it's legit or whatever. So I did the one thing that anybody else would probably do. If you're going out of the country, you have to go through an airport. When you're in an airport, they have the little currency exchange booth. Tiny little thing, 6x6, one person, different currencies. So I was like, oh, perfect. I could go there and go get some dinar.
Yeah.
Hooray, let's do it. So I went to go search their hours out. And to my surprise, which this is the big surprise, actually, there are two other international currency exchanges very much near to me. And they're both in malls. And the malls that they're in have the most foot traffic in my state. And I found that very, very interesting because they weren't there before. They're fairly new. And so initially, tinfoil hat went on. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you at a mall? And you're brand new. How can we trust you? Right. So what did I do? I did a little research on that. Yeah. That's exactly what it was, right? I'm like, something doesn't seem right about this. Money laundering's been going a long, long time, and they figured out where they can set up shop and do all these other things. So anyway, I did a little research on the company, and actually the company, which is ICX, International Currency Exchange, they just had their IPO not too long ago. So they're a publicly traded company. That's not saying that they're doing legitimate things. I'm just saying that they're a publicly traded company. So I found that interesting as well. And I was like, okay, this brings a little bit more initial legitimacy to that establishment or that entity, right? That company. So went down there, brought the wife, and I walk in, and it's just a kiosk. It's by the food court. And I say, yeah, I'd like to get some Iraqi dinars. And like both of the individuals working there were slightly a little off. They're like, what? You want Iraqi dinars? Like, are you sure you want to go there? Like, that's not a spot for vacation. And please take no offense, but you don't look like your FBI material at all. Yeah, you're wearing a black hoodie and all that, but they wear dark blue hoodies. Anyways, so I got some for $100, and I felt pretty cool, and I was like, cool, this is easy. And I know actually,
like
well, so check this out. So here's kind of what happened. So I was dealing with a well-dressed individual. It wasn't like they were suit and tie, but a very professional looking individual behind the counter. Of course, I talked to him about Bitcoin, but that's a top or a conversation for another show. Dip your toe. I asked him about the dinars and kind of the rate and that sort of thing. But when I first initially asked, I was watching the guy in front of me. I wasn't watching the guy behind him, who my wife was watching. And she had told me after the fact, she goes, dude, that guy be behind the guy you were speaking with. Like he's like, what? You kind of freaked him out. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean I freaked him out? Like, was this bad? Were you getting a bad vibe? Did we do a bad deal here? Did we just get bamboozled? Oh, man. It's like my second crypto trade kind of experience. Stupid. What an L. I wasn't paying attention. So anyways, she goes, no. She goes, it was just it was more of a surprise, like, oh, people are coming to buy these. Like this, like he knew something else because he turned around and kept focusing on other things. So I was like, that was interesting. So I went back on Sunday, or no, Monday. I went back on Monday to get some more. And so I just got a little bit more. No big deal. $100 worth. No big nothing.
Yeah.
And
right.
What's that?
Nothing to break the bank over.
Really. No, nothing to break the bank at all. No. I mean, based on the math that I just did, if the ratio comes out to 10 cents, then yes, for my $100,000, I technically have $10,000 US. Not bad for $100. Even if I got $100 back for my, for my investment per se, right? Or double that. I got $200 back. Hey, right on, cool. Got dinner and drinks, even though I don't drink anymore, but whatever. But it was just, that part was really, really interesting, that my wife saw this reaction from this other fella, which I wish I could have seen. I so wish I could have seen, because of course that would have made me go, oh, this is a real thing. Oh my gosh, the RV's happening. Oh, cool, right? But at the end of the day, I was thinking about some other things that I've come across, other people's thoughts on the Iraqi dinar being revalued at any level. One of them was, try to think about how much. Sorry, we've had a lot of military activity in my area today.
I can't hear unusual. It.
Oh yeah. We've had a lot of flying jets and a lot of helicopters.
I've been hearing that too.
From sorry, I didn't mean to change it up.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's talk about that in just a second. And after I just finish this up real quick on the what I heard somebody else's take on this, and was this: the revalue happens. How much liquidity is that going to bring back to other countries? Example for like ours. Okay, I mentioned the sanctions that happened earlier in the 90s, right? But before that, it was a 3-to-1 ratio. If that was a 3-to-1, if that 3-to-1 ratio came back, how much liquidity would that instantly bring to our economy at the retail level, right? Because what am I going to do with $10,000? Most of you would know, if you're watching on YouTube, you know exactly what I'm going to do with that $10,000. I'm going to put it right over there. By the way, I'm pointing at my crypto logo for all you on Spaces, right? Yeah. That's
wait a minute. There, no, wrong. Where am I pointing?
Over here, over there. Yeah.
It's my new little.
I would totally do that. I would totally go there. I could be a red candlestick on a chart, or I mean a green candlestick. Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wait for the red candlestick and then be the green candlestick on a chart. But anyways, I was like, that's actually very interesting too. What a what a positive thing for, at least in this country, for those who are all investing in it. They're going to be able to, depending on how heavy they're in, they might be able to go buy a laundromat from a boomer that's just trying to get out of the game. And now they're carrying the torch, and now that business is there.
And there's so much opportunity coming for those that are giving this attention. Like you just like the example that you just gave. I wanted to kind of before we go on to another subject, I've got a clip queued up that kind of ties in with just the mentality of the sanctions and the hegemony that the United States dollar has had, and what it's kind of done to the world. And so this is a clip that I watched today. There was a hearing, the crypto crime and context, breaking down the illicit activity in digital assets. Okay, so I hope I've got to the right place. I'm going to share my screen. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Mr. Sherman, but I can't stand the Shermanator. I cannot stand this guy. He is a jackass. Sorry, bad language. Oh no, don't say it. I'm sorry. He's a really nice guy, YouTube. He frustrates me to know.
I thought you were talking about Richard Sherman, the football player. I was going to say, well, he's just a loudmouth, dude. Come on,
Sherman,
man.
That is a senator. So here, hopefully, let me unmute it so you can actually hear it. All right, so I'm going to play it. Here it goes.
Have businesses here that depend on the crypto ecosphere, that if crypto were to cease to be a thing, you would all lose an awful lot of money. Am I wrong as to any of the witnesses?
I don't depend on.
So basically right now he's questioning the panel, insinuating that these professionals that are on at this hearing testifying, that their answers are based on the fact that they could stand to lose a lot of money because they're crypto people, right? So that's what he's insinuating initially here.
Cryptocurrency for, I don't have any. I'm not owned by a cryptocurrency company. My clients are not cryptocurrency companies.
The one Democratic witness. Oh. I commend the ranking member for her selection of witnesses. Thank you. We're told about U.S. leadership. I want to point out that when it comes to human trafficking, China's better at that than we are. When it comes to tax evasion, better. We don't need to be a leader in everything.
Can you pause that real quick?
You don't need to be
Can you just say that? Oh no.
I was like, what did he? I'm at work and I've got headphones on when I'm and I'm like, what the hell did he just say?
Did he just openly admit that the U.S. sucks at human trafficking, but yet we still do it? Is that what he's saying there? Because that's exactly what it sounded like. But maybe I'm wrong. I eat too much chocolate at night.
It gets better. It gets better.
Okay.
I don't know which witness can answer this, but
look at his face.
How many
too.
How many
Sorry,
Bitcoin
guys, for those on
X.
the
average day?
I think there's probably. Thank you for the question, yes. Congressman. I'm not totally sure, but I would say between 10 and 100,000 in that sort of order.
Between 10,000
and 100,000.
And 100,000.
So do you concur with that, Simon? Between 10,000 and 100,000 transactions a day only in Bitcoin. Do you think that's true? Or do you think it's more than that? That seems kind of low to me, but I'm not well versed in that. But when he said that, I was like, seems like, but maybe not because people that have Bitcoin are hodlers, so they're not generally.
No, let's I mean, okay, let me add to that, I guess, a little bit in that scenario. So I'm thinking of transactions being sent back and forth, right? Wallet to wallet, peer to peer, exchange to exchange. But if you send your Bitcoin from one wallet to the exchange, right? Yeah. In that exchange, if you put in a limit order, it's actually it's like tied to your account, but it's all just one big pool per se, right? It's just a pool. so they're not really being sent back and forth in a buying selling type of transaction that I'm aware of. So ruling out the buying and selling part,
Yeah.
I would be more on the lines of 100,000. I would say 50 to 100,000 globally going back and forth. God, honestly, yeah, 100,000. Yeah, that's probably about right. I mean, because you got the cent. Yeah. We can speculate on that in a little, or talk about that a little bit later.
All right, I'm gonna keep playing.
Yeah, keep playing this.
Illustrate the point I'm making, and that is, as long as crypto isn't a currency, as long as we're talking 10,000 transactions,
As long as it's not a currency, long as crypto is not a currency. And I want to tie this into some other stuff that I researched easier, but it really gave me I was like, oh, interesting that he's saying this.
even 100,000 transactions, then we're going to be able to police it a lot more easily than if it ever became a currency. I mean, think of how, does anybody have an estimate? Is credit cards, debit cards, checks? How many US dollar transactions are there in the average day?
Well, US dollars is different than transactions, numbnuts.
I see.
Sorry if that
Well,
gets you.
right. Yeah, he's comparing that. He's comparing
Right,
that.
right. You see what he did there? He's like hundreds of dollars. He's talking about dollars and transactions, and those are two different things.
Miss, I can't see your name.
Last name is Lisa, sir.
Your last name is Lisa, and
Thank you.
you're nodding. It must be a billion. Heck, maybe a billion just at McDonald's.
I think a billion is conservative.
Right. So obviously, it's a lot harder to find a tree in a billion, in a forest of a billion trees than in 10,000 to 100,000 trees. I would say, look, when someone, I've talked to the Israelis about this, when somebody tells you they're going to try to kill you, you should believe them. When an industry says they're going to try to displace the US dollar as the
You better believe them,
as a
bro.
reserve currency and a medium for international exchange, you should believe them.
Yes, you should.
And if they were ever successful, the power of the US dollar and international exchange is to the point where we tell other countries how much Iranian oil we'll let them buy. And if
Can you believe he
eating grin he's got right there? I'm so sorry. I got to keep my professional filter on here.
Can you believe that he said it in that way? I mean,
well, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
We know that that's true, and that's what we know that they've been doing to other countries. But this bro, he straight up said, if we let something else be the reserve currency, right? Oh yeah, and then we're not going to be able to let them, because right now, before with the petrodollar and that if they wanted to buy oil or whatever, they would have to have like the I'm going to stop sharing for a second. They would have to get the US dollar in order to buy that oil. Well, now with BRICS coming about and them making agreements and saying, you don't need to pay us in dollars, right? So this dude, it's just, I can't even believe, hey, live and learn.
For all you on spaces right now, because I know we're doing multiple platforms here. I know you can't see this video that's playing, but
go watch us on YouTube when it's over, or Rumble.
Melissa has paused this to where he just said, we can tell countries like, what do you say, Iran? He said Iran.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewind.
Rewind it a little bit. Anyways, what I'm trying to bring and paint a little picture here for everybody on spaces. This dude is smiling in a like
smart ass thing.
Like a very creepy kind of a way when he's smiling, saying this. And sorry, my filter wasn't on, and it probably won't be.
Rosemary said she couldn't hear the sound from the video. You can't hear the sound from the video even on.
Man, Bammer.
I wonder what the deal.
Let's see here. Oh,
What's-
you know what it is?
What?
Is the video muted on your end?
No,
Okay.
no, it wasn't. I'm not playing the video right now though, guys. Could you hear it before? Could you hear any of it at all? Can you give a thumbs up if you heard it initially?
There's a pretty big delay. There's a
Yeah.
pretty big delay. So we'll wait for
Yes,
see if
maybe that is. For those of you that are, you could hear it though, right? On your end. You heard the
yeah, I can
video.
totally hear it on my end. As far as spaces, I don't know. I got everything muted
Yeah.
on purpose.
Well, she put it, Kelly's putting thumbs down, thumbs down. Well, I don't have the video playing. Let me try it again, right?
Yeah, let's give it a go, see what happens.
Maybe $1 billion just to.
Can you hear it
I
now?
think $1 billion is conservative.
Right. So obviously it's a lot harder to find a tree in $1 billion.
Can you hear it
in
or
a
no?
forest of $1 billion trees.
I
than-
can, yes.
You could.
I
Somebody
could.
requested Run
Oh, the
request.
spammer.
Kelly. I just approved Kelly. So hopefully maybe she'll tell. We got thumbs down. Thumbs down. Darn it.
I'll be right back.
Hey guys. Yeah,
Hey.
you couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear it. I did just post, if you want me to post it at the top, just that first part with when he first started speaking, Sherman did. If you want me to post it up top, I can do that.
Yeah. So did you hear it? You couldn't hear it at all? At all?
No.
Or you,
No, I think you'd have to go to your sound settings.
oh, you know what? I know what I did. I know what I did wrong. I got you.
It's
So
like we could hear you.
yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back then because
Yeah,
this
start
is
over again.
you're hearing my you know, I appreciate you guys letting me know that. So I know what I did wrong now. When I did the share, I didn't do my advanced sharing when I did it. So that would have helped if I would have done that. Share share sound. There we go. Then we share. Okay, now.
Yeah,
Here we
rewind this
thing,
whole.
we would all lose
this
an
whole
awful
thing.
lot of money.
Okay.
Let's
so,
play it from the beginning.
go back here.
Drag it all the way. You drag it.
Well, this dude. Oh well.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. All
Oh,
right.
yeah. Okay. You were trying
now
just to do Sherman. Yeah.
I think
got
there's
you.
been
Now
limited
you should be able
evidence
to
to
hear it,
show its
right?
efficacy. The one risk of it is which could damage
Copy
not just
that.
efficacy overall,
Uh,
efficacy in
No,
terms of
you can
U.S.
hear
leadership in this
you can hear a little bit more,
is
but
if
not.
we,
You
again,
can't
do
make
go
out
down a
anything.
road of doing
Oh.
Well, what's going on here? I wonder if that will help. I don't get it. Let's see.
doing things like
Maybe I need to
regulating
mute.
software or not being cognizant of actually doing
Why in the hell is that not working? Darn it. Last time it worked just fine, so I don't understand why it's not why my sound is not. Maybe I don't have. Oh, I got that all the way. I got no clue. I got no clue of why it's not working.
what the U.S. has always been famous for doing. It's one of the reasons why it's been a leader in the AML space is we, as a country, have taken a risk-based approach. We look at harm
That help
and,
at all?
we target legislation and policy to address that harm. I don't think that's been the case so far.
And
with
hear
the
clear?
service
Now
or,
you-
No, I
Oh, you-
can't.
Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Chair.
Damn it. Why, Donna? Why? This is worth figuring out here. So if I go to I'm doing share sound. I'm doing this screen. Optimize for sound.
You want to
Oh, advanced computer audio. Stereo quality. Everything should be fine. I don't get it. Let's try.
Daggone.
Dang on it. Dang dong it. Let's see. I'll try it again.
Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Timmons.
Gentleman yields back. Mr. Sherman of California is recognized for 5 minutes.
As far as I know, all the
about that?
witnesses have businesses here that depend on the crypto ecosphere, that if crypto were to cease to be a thing, you would all lose an awful lot of money. Am I wrong as to any of the witnesses?
Can you guys hear that now or no?
We got a can hear clear on the YouTube.
Dang it. Why, Donna? I don't get it. That really bums me out.
Your output settings possibly. Have you looked at adjusting the setting? I really don't know, but have you looked at adjusting settings on the space as well? I don't know.
I don't think I can adjust it on the space. Like the sound. Well, I've shared it before. We shared stuff last time and I didn't have any issues whatsoever doing it. So I
Let me
don't
mute.
understand why it wouldn't be working. It's a bummer though, I know that, because
Try playing it one more time
Don't depend on
without me with
cryptocurrency
cleaning
for-
music.
I don't have any. I'm not owned by a cryptocurrency company.
to that. Yeah, I don't get it. Dang it.
My clients are not cryptocurrency
Can't-
companies.
Ah, the one Democratic witness. I commend the ranking member for her selection of witnesses. Thank you.
Can't hear it still, right?
Um,
Damn it. Damn it. Let's see.
Well, if you'd like, I could. I did share that first part up top. If you want me to screen record it and put the rest, I can.
Well, you're saying like just the audio. I wonder if I can just do the audio, I guess.
Yeah, so if you, I don't know. I screen recorded earlier today. The same thing.
You listened to the same thing.
Yeah. I
Let
was like, what did you just say?
me try to do just the audio and see if this works. Tell me if this works. Let's see.
we're told about U.S. leadership. I want to point out that when it comes to human trafficking, China's
that work?
better at that than we are. When it comes to tax evasion, the Cayman Islands is better. We don't.
Okay, so you can hear it when I'm just sharing the audio, but not if we're sharing the video. Is that what I got? So all right, I'm gonna go back. What a kerfunkle. I just turned it off. So all right, I'm gonna try it again right here.
I don't think that's been the case so far with mixer sanctions.
Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Timmons. Gentleman yields back. Mr. Sherman of California is recognized for 5 minutes.
As far as I know, all the witnesses have businesses here that depend on the crypto ecosphere, that if crypto were to cease to be a thing, you would all lose an awful lot of money. Am I wrong as to any of the witnesses?
I don't depend on cryptocurrency for, I don't have any. I'm not owned by a cryptocurrency company. My clients are not cryptocurrency companies.
Ah, the one Democratic witness. I commend the ranking member for her selection of witnesses. Thank you. We're told about U.S. leadership. I want to point out that when it comes to human trafficking, China's better at that than we are. When it comes to tax evasion, the Cayman Islands is better. We don't need to be a leader in everything. I don't know which witness can answer this, but how many Bitcoin transactions are there in the average day?
Can you guys hear that now, Kelly? Could you hear it, Simon, on your end?
Yeah, I could hear. Yes, I could hear it on my end.
Yeah.
It looks like everybody on the live stream on YouTube's got it good to go.
All right. So I'm going to keep going.
So, yeah,
I
play
think
on,
there's
play.
Thank you for the question,
Yes.
Congressman. I'm not totally sure, but I would say between 10 and 100,000 in that sort of
Just
order.
got thumbs
Between
down.
10,000
And 100,000.
And 100,000.
in an order of magnitude.
Damn.
You illustrate the point I'm making, and that is, as long as crypto isn't a currency, as long as we're talking 10.
Hey, Simon, you want me to send it to you and you try to share it, the audio? Because I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know.
Sorry, I was muted. I was gonna say, crank it, crank the volume on it.
I got it cranked up as loud as it'll go.
Oh,
as
okay.
far-
Yeah, I
as
can
far
try
as I
it.
can tell, it's like
All right,
I
here
just
we
sent
go.
it to
I'm
you in
gonna
the
try it.
Zoom chat, and it's about I don't know.
Okay, let's go here. How long in?
And then go to
I'll
like an
fi- I'll
hour
fi-
and 20 minutes in is where it's at.
I'll find the bean
Try.
counter.
This is Melissa attempt at being technical, and it worked for me the last couple of times when we did this. I shared and it came across on the video and everybody could hear it, and so I really don't know what the problem is. I'm at a loss here, guys. Darn it. We did our first reaction video and they couldn't even hear the video. There we go.
3, 2,
1.
No, all the witnesses have businesses here that depend on the crypto ecosphere, that if crypto were to cease to be a thing,
Guys hear
you'd
that
all
one?
lose an awful lot of money. Am I wrong as to any of the witnesses?
I don't depend on cryptocurrency for, I don't have any. I'm not owned by a cryptocurrency company. My clients are not cryptocurrency companies.
Ah, the one Democratic witness. I commend the ranking member for her selection of witnesses. Thank you. We're told about U.S. leadership. I want to point out that when it comes to human trafficking, China's better at that than we are. When it comes to tax evasion, the Cayman Islands is better. We don't need to be a leader in everything. I don't know which witness can answer this, but how many Bitcoin transactions are there in the average day?
I think there's probably, thank you for the question,
Yes.
Congressman. I'm not totally sure, but I would say between 10 and 100,000 in that sort of order.
Between 10,000
and 100,000.
and 100,000.
In an order of magnitude.
You illustrate
Because
that
everybody got weird glasses and whatnot.
as long as crypto isn't a currency, as long as we're talking 10,000 transactions, even 100,000 transactions, then we're going to be able to police it a lot more easily than if it ever became a currency. I mean, think of how, does anybody have an estimate? Is credit cards, debit cards, checks? How many US dollar transactions are there in the average day? At least a billion.
That's a
I see, I can't see your name from
Last name is Lisa, sir.
Your last name is Lisa, and
Thank you.
you're nodding. It must be a billion. Heck, maybe a billion just at McDonald's.
I think a billion is conservative.
Right. So obviously, it's a lot harder to find a tree in a billion, in a forest of a billion trees than in 10,000 to 100,000 trees.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there, just real quick, because he's comparing dollars and transactions on one side, right? He's taking all the debit cards, the credit cards, and the checks, and then he's like saying how many dollars worth of transactions, right? And then he's saying how many transactions are done in Bitcoin, right? So he's not, it's like just because you did $1 billion worth in transactions, Visa card, MasterCard, debit card, blah, blah, blah. Dude, Bitcoin totally has that on lock if you want to go dollar for dollar per day easily. I mean, Bitcoin has above 50% dominance in the crypto market, and I don't know what the crypto market is right now, but it's in the trillions, brother. Just saying. Let's play on.
I would say, look, when someone, I've talked to the Israelis about this, when somebody tells you they're going to try to kill you, you should believe them. When an industry says they're going to try to displace the US dollar as a reserve currency and a medium for international exchange, you should believe them. And if they were ever successful, the power of the US dollar and international exchange is to the point where we tell other countries how much Iranian oil we'll let them buy. And if they don't dare to buy anymore.
I know you guys on Spaces can't see this, but his face lit up like a Christmas tree. Like it was the happiest thing in the world. We get to tell other countries how much oil they can buy from Iran. Yeah, because we're cute. Like, give me a break, bro. If that's your agenda, which clearly by your happy-go-lucky smile you had on your face right then and there, yeah.
Can't believe he.
Clearly, if the U.S.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I can't even believe he said it in this way. I can't even. I
can't. I mean, this is great. Truth, honesty, and transparency. We saw for those of you on YouTube, you saw. For those of you on Spaces, you did not see the S-eaten grin he had on his face.
Yeah. And this is what I will say, you know, this is November to remember, which I kind of feel like there's been so much stuff that's happening, and a lot more things are happening, you know, in this month, and I'm sure there's going to be much more in the months and years to come.
Sure.
But with a lot of the senators and congresspeople not seeing re-election and they're leaving and whatever, and they're all acting weird. This guy's a perfect example. Come right out and say it. Now he's saying it with a smile, like it's no big deal, but he's telling the truth here of you know what we've done, and he's proud of it. I'm not proud of that. I don't think that's appropriate, where we're able to tell another country how much fuel they can buy for their people. You know, that pisses me off. So sorry. Carry on.
Continue. All right. Here we go.
Dollar wasn't as important. Let's put it like this. The Uruguayan peso is not that important. If Uruguay started telling China how much oil they could buy from Iran, they would be laughed at. We're told that there are good uses for mixers. Ms. Jimenez, we're told it's about personal privacy. Is that really just a code word for tax evasion?
So thank you for the question. Mixers can be used for whatever purpose the end user wants it to be. And it can be tax evasion, it could be terror finance, it could be to hide illicit proceeds. When FinCEN, the Treasury, released their proposed rulemaking on considering mixers to be primary money laundering concern, they do actually have studies and analysis using blockchain analytics that cited the very large percentage of funds that were flowing in and out that related to illicit activities. So there's some lovely stats.
Most people even looking at illicit activities don't even think of tax evasion as an illicit activity. You know, some people are thrilled whenever a billionaire is able to cheat on their taxes. What would be the legitimate use of a mixer?
What? Okay, first of all, when he's talking about a mixer, are they talking about like where with crypto, it can go in, you know, you send it to one place and it gets kind of mixed up and then spits out on the other end, it's kind of like washing it, right?
They're giving the reference to washing. Mm-hmm.
But just even the way that he's saying this about the tax evasion part, his particular witness that he has, if you listen to what they say, just like closely what they're saying, it's not what you would initially think that they're saying, I guess is what I mean.
No, but here's what they're also doing. He's just trying to show the ugly. Oh, someone's hiding away tax evasions. Oh, okay. So you're telling me that I have to pay taxes on something that I haven't realized any tax on because I didn't go into dollars. Is that what you're saying? And if that is what
there's no clear, right?
Well, but they want, this is a trap. This is a big trap. This is a huge trap because as he stated before, if the dollar gets, you know, knocked off its pedestal, then they can't go tell whoever they want to do whatever they want, or hell hath no fury. We'll do what we got to do we're going to do whatever we want to do that we normally have done to you. That's kind of the thing there, so, the whole thing with mixers is it's like, well, actually, yes, this is a private seat. I really don't think it's your business to know where that money came from and where it's going to and the reasons why. If it is such that, then you should be auditing your own IRS to see where the money came from. Go for it. I'll wait. Okay, enough about that. Here we go.
Can you think of one?
My specialty is financial crime, so I would defer to the other panelists, but if you want more about how it's can be used badly, I can provide more on that. But
yeah,
aside from
see that,
what the other folks in the panel have already said, I don't have anything to add to that.
Well, I think most of the folks in the crypto world think tax evasion is a meritorious use of a mixer, and I yield back.
Gotta pause there. It's not tax evasion if I didn't go into cash.
Right.
Stupid.
Right.
Gentleman yields back, and as I noted, we'll have a second round of questions now for the members who want to participate.
Was that it?
That was it for Shermanator, of what I wanted. I wish that I had some other, oh, good, Rosemary said we fixed it. Yeah, Simon fixed it. Melissa's got to do some work, Rosemary. I watched some other hearings and they all get kind of scrambled together. And, unfortunately, I'm not as prepared, but as this is all unfolding. But I listened to little bits and pieces of these hearings and what they say. And I was listening to a tax one the other day, and they were using very interesting words, because if you've ever kind of studied up on the whole voluntary tax thing, we talked about this on a show or two ago, where it's a voluntary base system, and they were using those words during this hearing that I was watching. They say it if you listen, so it's no BS. And then they were talking about, oh gosh, they didn't have a problem with the tax avoidance. They kept saying tax avoidance is legal, right? Well, yeah, it is legal. It's for the people that understand how to use their money properly, and that you're able to legally not pay taxes. So there's just so many things that are happening right now that frustrate me. And these people talking and him saying, he's really worried about it becoming a currency. And then he's worried about the mixers and the billionaires. I don't even know where he was going with the billionaire thing, with the taxes, because like you're saying, unless it went back into fiat. Well, the other thing is that there's no clarity yet. So why are you going to automatically just say, oh, I owe money? I actually know people that are, they like sold to get into, they're doing IRA. They're like taking out their 401ks and putting the money into a Roth. And now, there was a time like Litecoin Leader and I had disagreed somewhat when it came to a Roth IRA. And his position was, it's nuts to take out cash out money, pay tax on it, and put your money into a Roth IRA now. And my position back then was, if Bitcoin, well, and at the time that was the only thing that you could really put into these savings plans, was kind of like Bitcoin and that. But I thought, if it's going to grow as tremendously as everyone expects it to have it grow in a Roth IRA and not have not have to pay any tax on it at all is incredible. However, if you already had one that you could roll over directly, from a Roth to a Roth, you shouldn't be having to pay any, you should not take that money out into your own, not financial advice, but you should not cash out because then you are creating a taxable event, right?
But that's like that's like the thing right there. You just said it.
Yeah.
Cash out. You went into the thing that they tax. You went into the negotiable instrument. You went into the tool that they tax.
Yeah.
Because that's how you have to pay your taxes. You pay in money. And they'll do little trickery stuff. Well, I'm not saying intentional. If they accepted another means of payment, which by the way, the IRS does accept payment in Bitcoin, right? But it has to equal the dollars at the time of receipt or receiving, right? So they'll receive it. It has to equal your outstanding balance at that time. So if there's fluctuation in the market, oh shit, it doesn't count, but they're trying to say, oh, but it's worth this much, you own a tax. It's like, no, just because it takes this many dollars to do a thing doesn't necessarily mean I'm in a tax. I didn't go into the thing. Right? I didn't trade into the thing. Give me a break. Just because you say it's worth that much, that doesn't mean it is that. And that's only if I go into cash. Then it is worth that much. Only upon the actual transaction. Because that's realized at that point. And I might be painting my own self in a corner here from years from now. But from my viewpoint, at a minimum, it's when you go into that money, that is when the tax is, because it's a privilege to have that money.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Alan was here. He could dive down deep on some of this stuff.
I know.
Alan Stable. Love you, brother. Interesting. Melissa, I'm so glad you brought this to all of us, though. This was quality stuff right here. I'll admit, in my younger days, that I've been like, this is so boring. Why do we gotta watch right?
I watch these hearings all the time, and did you see the one where what's his name? Was it Mr. Mullin? That's why I say there's like crazy stuff happening. So there was another hearing. It wasn't during this one, where apparently the Teamsters Union guy, O'Brien, I think is his last name. He had been making some smart alecky comments regarding Senator Mullin, that he was, like not really a hardworking guy. And, he kind of challenged him to, like, I guess a fight. Did you hear about this, Simon?
You mean a senator challenged a Teamsters Union representative to a fight?
Well, he accepted the challenge.
O'Brien, the Teamsters guy, accepted the challenge.
No, O'Brien was the one running his mouth on social media about the senator. And then the senator during the hearing said, like, he read what he put. I'm trying to find it so you can share it, because I was like, what in the hell is even going on right now? And then I think that there's been so much stuff happening that I think I read earlier where they sent him home for Thanksgiving, right? Like because everything's getting so heated. And I'm thinking, well, did it really get heated? Yeah, I'm going to send this to you so that you can
track the union dues.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to send it to you because this is worth watching too. I mean, I guess this is like when we say what's happening in what the hell's happening in November. What's happening is the B actors are on overdrive right now, and they're like having a great old time showing up to work and getting to pretend we're fixing the world's problems is what I think. I mean, it's just my opinion, but so basically this is, I wrote a post that's Mr. Mullins accepted an earlier challenge by Mr. O'Brien. And I said, I wondered if Bernie thought it would be funny to have O'Brien there after they already had an issue between these two in an earlier hearing, I guess. And then that's when O'Brien took the social media And I said, it seems like an intentional poke of the bear moment. And I just think it's wild with what, with what's happening. Did you find it?
I did.
Wait till you
I
see
got it.
this. I can't wait to see your reaction. I cannot wait
All
to
right,
see
here
your
we go.
reaction, Simon.
But yeah, I have to share my screen. Everybody else ain't gonna see my reaction, but let's.
Well, I
let
think
me,
I think your head might pop up. I'm turning my video off, and we'll watch
okay,
this.
let's see what happens. We'll see.
Do
what
it to
happens. I gotta share the screen here. Let's go.
Hey, what up? Did any of you guys else see this yet? Kelly, you probably did. Senator Mullin.
Here we go.
Dues, it's actually higher. Non-union employees are getting paid by roughly 1 to 2%, which is exactly what union dues are, is 1 to 2% of their salary. So I just wanted to set the record straight on that, and that's coming from statistics, all right? Now, let's talk about Mr. O'Brien himself, his behavior. As everybody knows, and it's here, and the last time, him and I kind of had a back and forth. Appreciate your demeanor today. It's quite different. But after you left here, you got pretty excited about the keyboard. In fact, you tweeted at me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And let me read what the last one said. It said, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made. Sir, I wish you was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company. Myself and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution?
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down.
He getting ready to take his ring off.
Please, Senator, sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond?
Hold on.
You got to play the rest. Keep going. Keep going.
I just wanted to give the people my reaction to a little bit. I mean, he was getting ready to take that ring off. He's like, oh, yeah? You want to go? I don't care what kind of trucks you drive. I'm a plumber. Like, this is classic construction job site, like beef right here. Like, it truly is. Like, this is great. We'll continue. Here we go. I'm going to reshare the screen. Just give me a moment. Here we go. We'll finish this up.
Hold it. If we can't, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't. This is a
Bernie, look at
hearing.
Bernie.
And God knows the American people have enough of contempt for Congress. Let's not
I don't
make
like
it worse.
thugs and
You-
bullies.
You have,
And that's
you
what-
have
I don't
the
like
mic.
you because you just
Hold it.
described yourself.
Hold it. You have the mic.
Yeah.
You have time.
All right.
Make your statement.
Then let's do this, because I did challenge you and I accepted your challenge, and you went quiet.
No, I didn't go quiet.
Hold on.
You challenged me to a cage match,
No,
acting like a
sir.
12-year-old schoolyard
Hold it.
bully.
Excuse me. Hold it. No, excuse me. I have the
I
mic.
will say exactly.
Senator
what you
Mullin,
said.
I have the mic. You have questions on any economic issues, anything that said, go for it. We're not here to talk about physical abuse.
You brought.
We're not
him
talking
in.
about, of course I
And,
did.
and let me show you his hearing, because I want to expose this thug to who he is.
Ooh, yeah.
And
You're
you
not
know,
pointing at me. That's disrespectful.
All right.
I don't care
You
about
believe-
respect at all. I
don't
people
respect
that
you at all.
respect. So
All right, hold it.
let me
Hold it. No.
You don't want to
Hold
be
it.
the most
Hold
elite
it,
people
please.
acted.
Please. All right. This is excuse me. This is a hearing to discuss economic issues. All right. If you have questions for Mr. O'Brien or anybody else on what he has said, go for it. But we're not here to talk about fights or anything else.
I'm quoting exactly what he said.
You can
and
say
this
what
is-
you want,
This is your witness
This
you
is
brought,
my
and let me.
witness.
I'm exposing him.
You can
as a
talk
person
anything you
who
want.
is. So
But
in
no
2013,
Nope.
in 2013, O'Brien was suspended by the Teamsters for intimidating your own members. In 2014, you were part of, what would you say, organizing the harassment and intimidation of the top shelf crew.
Chef, not chef.
Top chef, okay. And then, and I think in the reports they said sexual, racist and homophobic slurs and death threats, 14 tires were sliced, and 5 Teamsters were arrested, and you said, well, I had nothing to do with it, but however, in that same statement you said, but if I get called to testify, I'll plead the fifth. This is a witness you brought in here. In 2017, you were removed as lead negotiator.
Bernie did it on purpose.
For UPS for your actions. And then in 22, when this guy was elected, what he said after he got elected was he wanted to bring the mob mentality back to the Teamsters. This is your guy.
And you're obviously going to give him a chance to respond to your questions.
Absolutely, because this is my question. Because you called me out. I didn't call you out.
Yeah, you did.
You said anytime, any place.
Let's get the record straight.
Miss Hold it, no.
Hold on.
Senator Mullin, you have a question for the witness?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, anytime, any place.
No, that's not.
April is a charity event.
No, that's not. No,
it's a,
no.
Sir, he said it, and this is my
He is
time,
here to
you
tell.
didn't set
No,
parameters on what the questions can or cannot be asked, and I'll ask.
no, you're not going to. We're
question.
not going to be talking about
yes,
physical
we did.
confrontation.
Oh, this is about charity for a union charity because this
This
is for
is.
firefighters. And
Do you have a
policemen.
question on his testimony?
April.
Grow up.
April
Will you
next
please
year.
You have
grow
a
up. You're an
question
embarrassment.
on his. Let's not
You
be.
said it.
You're an
You
embarrassment.
said
You're
it,
an
and I'm just
embarrassment.
simply answering it.
You
Senator
reached
Mullin,
out
go
to
hold
me,
it.
buddy.
Hold it.
I-
Senator Mullin, you made some charges.
Charges.
Mr. O'Brien, do you want to respond to
Yeah,
the
go ahead,
question?
please.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality of it is, you
Accept
know,
my challenge, tough
Mr.
guy.
Mullin, tough guy.
Answer. Hold it. Answer the questions.
All right, you're one. He made a lot of statements, right? And his statements are fiction at best.
Fiction, I read them.
Can you
What?
answer the question, please?
I can't
Ridiculous.
understand him, to be honest with you. He rambles so much. What was your question, actually?
Well, you said I made a lot of statements.
No, but what's your question? I don't understand your question. Could you repeat it?
You said anytime, any place.
What's your question?
Accept the challenge.
What challenge?
You said anytime, any place. I'm accepting yours, so why don't you come
What
back?
challenge? What challenge are you talking
April
about?
30th. How about we do it for a charity at the Smoking Guns in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
No, we're not going to be
what was the
talking about
challenge?
physical confrontations here.
You want to fight me?
What'd you say about anytime, any place?
Let's have coffee, discuss our differences.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
All right, well, let's
Cowboy.
Let's do it. I'd love to.
But
It's
the,
funny how you're back.
okay.
I don't back on anything.
You did.
You're the one. You're a 100.
Bernie's just losing his stuff, man.
People in this country making changes.
Senator
You're
Hassan.
focused on.
Okay.
You're
Thank
focused
you.
on
Why did
debate
you-
that's not
why-
even relevant. You're an embarrassment.
Senator,
You're an
Senator,
embarrassment.
Well,
That's what you
silence
are.
after
You're an embarrassment to the
This
state
This
of
is our
Oregon.
government.
About the condition of
Hold
This
on,
is our
hold on.
government.
I'll get. Well, it's not just the government. Okay,
Right.
this is. I mean, like, and you know, I can't speak for all unions. All unions are not created equally, and I'm not shooting any shade on any unions out there. But when it gets to the top shelf, this is where I think the members of the unions have actually a big problem. Going, you guys aren't doing us any favors. You're doing the same thing that they're doing at the top. All you top shelfers and shot callers, to a degree, cause more problems for us, the ones holding up and that are the foundation of this thing. You're making it worse for us in so many different degrees. When you're about this membership or you're about the people, then be about the people, be about the membership, because you're saying you serve, as in that we are you are our servant per se.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll leave that alone. Yeah.
Well,
But
and
hey,
I'll
unions getting
say,
a check.
when I saw it, I was like, you're kidding me. Okay. So first of all, I mean, Mr. Mullins, I think not very professional, shouldn't have been doing that. However,
No.
what surprised me though was O'Brien's behavior and the fact that he was allowed to be sassy like that. Like in other hearings that I've seen, like I didn't think that they were, I mean, they're supposed to be respecting, right? Of the
No, it's
thing.
definitely not. It's
No,
definitely
and
not.
well, and here's the other thing, and I don't remember off the top of my head, and hopefully I'll remember and I'll put it in the show notes. But I was listening to somebody the other day talking about the unions different work stoppages that happened. Remember when we had the shipping container issue and things were out, for so long, and there was all this kind of stuff going on. And then the workers, like workers that went on strike, not like recently, whatever, they were saying that they were told to go on strike, like from higher up. They were told to go on strike, kind of as a cover up for other issues that were going on in it. And actually, I think what it was I was listening to was Black Swan Capitalists had Jim Willie on. I'm going to post that.
Jim Willie.
Jim Willie is,
oh no, Jim Willie. Oh my God, dude, dude, he's fired, man. But I don't know what term to use to use for him, but like
what it is.
It's like
he don't give a shit.
First off, he's had it. He's been put through the ringer. He sees it, and he calls it out like it is. But the way his mind works sometimes, man, it's just like you gotta love him because
yelling. He just starts yelling when
I start yelling. It's like, God, I really wish you had a lawn that I could just walk across just one time, just to be like, sorry, Mr. Willie.
I would love
to on your lawn again. Get off my lawn. On
the show, but I'm like wondering how would my face be when he starts going off? Like, because
laugh. You'd have to laugh.
It was Versan and his brother. They were interviewing him, and they're such sweeties, And so, but their faces were they handled it so well. They've interviewed him several times, and I'm thinking, how would Christy and I do with Jim Willie? Like, how would it be? Like, my face would be like, But anyway, he was saying that that they didn't. There was a problem with them not wanting to take the U.S. notes anymore, right? For commerce, for that.
Right.
So in order to cover that up with them not wanting to take that is why they told them to go on strike. That's according to Jim Willie. I'm pretty sure it was Jim Willie that said that. And
there's a very okay. I don't have any like written proof or etc. But when you're in a room and you're looking for the connections and the actions that are done, and some of the hardcore mentality, it really plays into bannerism, and to a degree, in all types.
Can you elaborate on bannerism?
Oh, bannerism. Yankees fan, Red Sox fan, bannerism.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. You
went over my head.
Yeah. Well, tribalism. But I'm not trying to. But I don't like. I'm not with the tribalism because that means totally something different to me, man. Bannerism, like this is the flag I fly per se, right? I'm a Cubs fan. I'm a Bears fan. I am a Mariners fan and a Seahawks fan, but at the end of the day, it's just a game, and dude, I got other things to do with my life. But if you watch like a good example is like football fans can be very intense, and some have a hard time letting go of a loss or a bad play, like it's talked about the whole time, right? But what that does is it digs you deep within the trenches of that banner, right? So apply that to any type of organization. Here's a classic one, and I'm not dogging on them. Apple or iPhone users. You get some hardcore iPhone users, man. I mean, it doesn't matter if Apple messed up on some stuff. They're still like, yeah, they messed up. Hey, but it's, I'll never go Android or whatever, right? You just have those hardcore people, and it doesn't matter what area or industry it's in. And when you can get like that, now you got emotions, high emotions, a blind, I'm going to say blinders. I'm not saying they're blinders, but you're just focused on one thing and one thing only, and you go with the herd, and the shot callers will tell the herd where to go. And if they don't, they will get blacklisted at some level. And it won't be the shot callers that'll take care of it. It'll be the herd that takes care of its own. And they literally mean that. We take care of our own on the good side and the bad side. And that's kind of just how it is altogether. Think country to country, right? If we have a criminal over in another country, hey, we're sorry. We're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of him, or we're going to take care of her. They literally mean that. Smiley face. So, when you see this type of behavior that we just saw,
oh, we got Rusty in here, lady friend.
Hey, when you see that type of behavior, I mean, Bernie's losing it. Quiet, like nobody respects Bernie in the room at that point, right? They're just like, dude. And I do got to say, like, no, this is your witness, and this is a calling out. Bannerism, Democrat, Republican, right? We got beef just because I'm red and you're blue. There's the beef. I'm union, I'm non-union. There's the beef, right? Beef, it's what's for dinner. And you got to get past that, man. Got to get past that, because it gets to this whole control thing, it gets to this bigger control thing. And I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. So let me bring it back around to where bannerism is in trouble. You saw, or rather we saw, some of y'all heard the Teamsters Union Rep, and he's saying, you're an embarrassment, you're this. You could see his fellow members in the back laughing. It's like, yeah, see that right there? That's on some emotional stuff. Are you here to fix a problem or call me out on a problem? Let's deal with it and put me in jail or find me up the wazoo. Cool. But like, he's going in there because he has to. He doesn't respect anybody in there. And he was asked by Bernie to be there.
Yeah.
So there's the connection. There's the connection. You could on the other side of that, with Republicans, I'm sure there's a connection within the Republican Party. There's a common denominator. With Democrats, it seems to be a lot of union folk vote with the blue. Why? Because if their people, the Democrats, are not in the seats of power, then we lose the work and we don't eat. And that's the play that gets played.
Yeah.
That is the play. Like, your way of life will cease to exist. And it's like, you guys got to quit doing that. Why don't we offer a better deal? And actually, if we have the better work, then that's where we should be going. If someone's trying to not pay us for the better work, cool. Yeah. Send them down the road. We'll clean up the mess later. I'm sorry, I'm going on like this weird union.
No, but I mean,
dude, it was totally like that. It was a total construction beef in that whole thing. I'm like, oh my God, it's like a job site. Where's the porta potty at?
It absolutely was. And, I always say we have more in common than they want us to believe. Right.
Oh, totally.
And I listen to so much stuff all day long, different things, and people touching on different subjects, but they all are tied together. And I mean, I'll put several links in the show description of all the stuff that I think is interesting that I watched. I watched one of the fellas interviewed this guy that was he was a plumber, also a plumber, which okay, coinky dink probably is, whatever, that this guy is getting some recognition now and being interviewed by a podcast platform that's kind of really popular. But he was talking about his experiences as a plumber in Antarctica and the things that he saw. Okay. And so I posted it on the socials, like everybody's got to see this interview with this guy, because he was saying that, what I've always suspected is, we have this technology. We've always had it for a very long time. And, we don't learn about it until years and years and years down the road. But he was saying that, they most certainly are working on directed energy, weaponry, this other technology, that the newer stuff that's coming out where it like uses your bones or something, to do the predictive programming, right? How we're getting predictive programming or brainwashed, however you want to call it, through television and music and in the visuals and all of that. But the technology is getting to the point where they could just put things in your mind. I can't remember what he called it, like
Oh yeah,
geez.
kind of like a premonition type deal.
Yes, it's one of those dimension type things, but they say that we all have the ability, the capability of doing it, but people can be manipulated, and they're easily manipulated through movies and things like that. But in any event, I'm just saying we all have so much more in common than they want us to believe, and oftentimes people will get on one little part of something, an exchange that happened, and all they do is root for that particular person. They blind to everything else. So because they don't like, say it's a Republican doesn't like the union, for example, right? They would just say like, that's a union boss and in blah, 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 he's the wrong one. Or they don't like the Republican and he's the one that bullied it. Basically, they were both unprofessional. And I feel like this was kind of an orchestrated exchange, but I think they knew this was going to happen, in the way that they behaved. And it's a distraction, right? I mean, like we're talking about it, but I thought it was funny. So I had to, but I just see this happening all over in every hearing. I read something today too, where McCarthy bumped into some other senator in the hallway that had voted him. We wanted to vote him out. And it was like a kidney knock, a kidney punch or something. And he said, oh, he just bumped him on accident. And then that's supposedly why, everybody's so heated that they, let him go for Thanksgiving, enjoy your Thanksgiving type thing. I'm like, come on, man. They're just trying to confuse everyone. So I get frustrated. Does anyone else want to come up and have anything they'd like to add to the discussion here? I did see, I saw, are you familiar with Kathy Wood?
Yes. Yes. I don't watch your stuff, but she's awesome.
I don't either. I mean, well,
she's
used
awesome,
to.
though. She's a true
so
OG.
She's so smart and she's patient, right? But she was talking about the ETF approval coming up, and she believes that the odds have gone up in their favor. But she had a chat with someone, and I can't remember whether it was I don't know. She's with ARK Investments. But anyway, I have a clip on that. I was trying to think of something to keep us kind of where we were. Do you have anything to add to the shit show that we're watching?
Okay, well, let's yes. I mean, that's like in-house stuff. And I mean, like, let's go a step further. What actually happens at hearings? You're here at this hearing to discuss something, for discovery. It's like, to a way that's good for just the big people, right? People in positions of power, and not for you, because of a viewpoint. That's the ongoings, that's the fights. And I think, to your point, you're saying it's a distraction. I think it is a distraction, because this is literally a whole bunch of people sitting around, and I don't mean like they're sitting per se, but it's just they're arguing over rules. What can be done? No, you can't. Yes, you can. Da da da. It's like,
And
dude.
it just took up it just took the time. There's already only a certain amount of limit of time that they get to ask their questions and answer it. So that big old chunk of time was taken out of that, taken out of that hearing for, so, okay, we think it's funny and everything. And I do, and I'm guilty because I brought it up. But in the grand scheme of things, when you see that they're supposed to be passing bills and protecting the public and getting information, and they got this kind of shenanigans going on, it gets to be really frustrating to me. Something else that happened today that I kind of pulled some stuff up on it, but that Digital Equity Act of 2021, that they said Biden signed it into law. Where's my I had a couple of notes here. So, and I was asking it because I was trying to figure out, because people were saying that Biden did like the most overreaching law, like signed into law, the most overreaching in regards to the internet. And did you hear anything about that? Because I mean, I just like recently heard about it. I wasn't super aware of what it was. But apparently, within this bill that was recently signed, the part about the internet was kind of like baked in. So again, you've got these things that have thousands of pages with separate different dealings, that are baked within, and the public doesn't know. And then when they do have something where they're talking about it, we get shit like what we just talked about, right? Where they're not even doing anything. But in any event, what was signed into law today, and I will try to link the stuff in the description box, the Infrastructure Investment and Job Acts. It was signed into law by President Joe Biden today. It includes $65 billion for improving Americans' access to the internet. The legislation extends a federal discount on broadband service for low-income families and provides grants to states to pay for internet upgrades. And then the Restrict Act, which is a bill introduced by Senator Josh Hawley, would prohibit federal agencies from using taxpayer funds to pressure or coerce tech platforms to censor or moderate content. And this bill has been referred to the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. And then there was another bill introduced, No Funds for Iranian Terrorism Act, which was introduced by Representative Mike Gallagher, that would prohibit the use of funds to provide internet access or equipment to Iran or any entity owned or controlled by Iran. The bill has been referred to the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. Okay. So, and then what else did I have? I had that was answer one of my questions. I wish I was trying to figure out. They said that there's a Senator Carr that is opposing this. He was opposing this plan, the digital equity plan that President Biden asked the FCC to adopt. And he calls it a sweeping, unprecedented, and unlawful power grab that would give the federal government effective control of all internet services and infrastructure in the country. And then he also opposes the plan to reinstate the net neutrality rules, which he argues would result in government control of the internet. These are all things that I asked questions to figure out, well, okay, so since if Biden signed this, which something that we didn't even really know about, this Digital Equity Act of 2021 that included that Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which is HR 3684, that he signed into law today. Is that just the end of it? And what the answer was is that if the FCC, so I asked the question, if Joe Biden signed that into law, is the FCC then required to implement the Digital Equity Act as part of the Infrastructure and Investment and Jobs Act that Biden signed today? And the answer said, the FCC has some discretion in how it interprets and applies the law, and it may face legal challenges from opponents of the act. According to the FCC's fact sheet, the agency will initiate a notice of inquiry to seek public comment on various issues related to the prevention and elimination of digital discrimination. And the FCC will also consider the recommendations of the newly established Digital Equity Advisory Committee, which that's the committee that's going to advise the agency on the digital equity policies and programs. And then the FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr, who opposes that act, has argued that the act's unconstitutional and it exceeds the FCC's statutory authority. And then he warned that the act would lead to government micromanagement and control. But they said that it's possible that Carr or other parties may sue the FCC to block or overturn the act's implementation. So I'm not exactly sure that that it's a done deal. So it's like every time we think that something is something's happening, and then we don't hear any more about it after the fact, right? Like you hear Biden made the most, craziest thing for the internet and everything, and it was baked into this, but nobody really told the details, and then he signed it. But now it could be put back in the FCC where they can say, we want public comment time before we implement it, and then it's possible that they can overturn it. I don't know if anybody else is paying attention to that kind of stuff or giving that any of their attention, but I think it's something that's pretty important that we should kind of look to. It's complicated. They have to make everything so freaking complicated.
Well, if it wasn't complicated, then it would be law, and there you go, and we'd be in the CCP. Right? It'd be that quick. 4 years, it's over. Emergency powers. Nope. Get all the military on my side. Not that hard. You don't like it, you're out. Boom. That's the thing. It has to be complicated. There has to be these checks and balances, so it goes back and forth. And the bigger part, an overreach, that's an understatement. An overreach would be like, I assaulted him. Well, he's barely alive. Well, yeah, he's alive though. He's breathing, so it's not death. So it's just assault. No big deal, right? So, Biden signing an executive order or signing into law. It's like, well, okay, so Congress came all up with this and said, yes, this needs to happen, right? But if they're saying it to the tune of, it's just Iran, it's like, well, then it should be one page of Iran. Side note, if you're going to introduce a bill, and you say it's blah, 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 it should literally be that and that alone. No extra bullshit in the fucking meat and potatoes in there. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
But no, it should not be that at all. But it is 100%. Oh, I want to add this. Oh, I want to add this. No, dude, we're talking about cheeseburgers. We ain't talking about chicken burgers. We ain't talking about pork burgers. We're just cheeseburger. That's what we're talking about, right? like that. Honestly, that's the complicated stuff. That's got to go. That's got to go, because this is how they bake the cake. They slide all that crap in there that we don't want and we don't need. The FCC has its own position, and it has its own power of authority to go, no, this is not your jurisdiction. You have no authority over us. And that's why there's multiple different departments, because even though the departments kind of have to go within the line of the Constitution. They do, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. But not one department is over another unless that power has been given to that department, expressly written into law via the Congress, right? Because they're the ones that hand out the laws and the power. Even like the executive orders that have happened for years and years and years. No, it's an executive order, an order. I order you to do this. It's not law. You're just ordering me around, telling me what I should do, have to do, what you want me to do, but it's not law.
And the thing is too, Simon, is the fact that they're putting this kind of stuff in much larger bill to where most people don't even know, right?
No,
people don't even know. And here he signed it today, right? And it's my understanding that it was signed today. And you have the FCC commissioner is this Brendan Carr. And he's making us think about it. And I mean, this article I have pulled up was from a week ago, and I guess he's saying some stuff today. But it's like a week is not enough freaking time to let the people know that this is happening. So I'm just going to read this little short thing. If you don't
wait
mind.
a minute. I'd like, before you play that, I want to make a clear distinction.
Yeah.
When you say people, what people?
What do you mean? How did I say
exactly?
How did I say people? What was I saying when I said people?
Well, it sounds like you're implying, we the people, like, everybody around in this whole great nation, like, the 350 million of us that's in this country. Is that the people you're giving reference to?
I'm talking about the people that are going to be impacted by this power grab that's happening. So who's that? Who are those people? I guess it's
those exactly. So like, this is the distinction though that we have to think about when they say the people. You have to ask yourself, what people are they giving reference to? Because typically it's not us. Remember, we all voted for 2 or 3 or 4 people to represent the masses, to be our voice and pretend to be us, right?
Right.
If that's what that means, that's why we don't hear anything, because the people that we elected to be us, hey, you can go be me.
You just saw who we elected to be us, right?
Well, I mean, that's a whole nother, exactly, right? So again, like that's what we're saying to do. I give you permission to pretend to be me and make decisions for my life that you have no idea what the hell I do in it, by the way, anyways, right? No. But you're also right. Imagine this, to your point. They're not telling the people. They don't have to. They don't have to tell the natural man, the natural person, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to tell us because we elected to have representatives, but we want them to. Imagine if they had to do that. Now, government would move very slow.
Yeah.
However, things would be done. If we had to vote on everything, rule, amendments, everything that was going on, dude, there'd still be horse poo in the middle of the road.
I'm not saying that. I think that we should have to have a vote.
No, I'm saying we should. I'm for that. I think all 350 million of us should have to vote on one thing to go, hey, this is good in my area. This is not good in my area, as opposed to having
as something that is important as the main infrastructure that's going to rule everything. I mean, when we're in the digital asset space, right? The internet of value and everything that goes with it.
They want to control the road.
And this is another thing that's frustrating when I think about this, is that, obviously the majority of the people they're not even aware of what is happening. Like we're trying to help, enlighten people of the tremendous wealth transfer that's about ready to happen, and how all this stuff is moving, and trying to inspire people to look into it for themselves and give it some attention and get into it while they can right now. It's not even on their radar when it comes to stuff like this. And here we are paying attention, giving it attention. I can't say it when I say paying. When we're giving
we're paying.
And
we're paying.
Well, I'm not paying anymore. I'm giving my attention to the things that I want to give it to and that I feel is it is improving me in some way. And the fact that that's my hope, but I just think that if I lost my train of thought, dang it.
Well, cool. Can I switch to something? I just had a universal thing happening to me right now. I got my buddy Jay Crypt. He's texting me. We got some things going on with the bot. He just said, oh, he might be on right now. That's probably him. He just said, supposedly big ISO 2022 update on the 19th. Go XRP. Then whoever JRB is in the chat right now, it says ISO 4217 and 222. That's 20022 is live on the 19th.
Well, so
sorry. I'm
going to go back to that because I want to finish this. Because I was doing some research on that also, because they keep pushing back the go live date where everyone has to be ISO 2022 compliant, right? And it was pushed to November. But then as I was researching it for the show today, because that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, I got a little confused because it seems as though some of the banks have pushed back their implementation deadline to a little farther out to accommodate some of the banks and stuff that are coming online with it. Now, I haven't had enough time to research because I was kind of surprised by that because everybody has been saying just what your friends had said, that it was coming, which it's a big deal, whether it comes this month or it comes 3 months from now. It's a huge deal, and the wheels are in motion for that. But I just wanted to read this so I can just get do it. So the thing that was signed today that was in the bill, this Federal Communications Commissioner Brendan Carr, he called it the Digital Equity Plan for All Internet Service and Infrastructure, an unlawful power grab, and said that Biden's plan hands the administrative state effective control over all internet services and infrastructure in the country. Never before in the country, like in our whole country, they would be control. Never before in the roughly 40-year history of public internet has the FCC or any federal agency for that matter claimed this degree of control over it. Indeed, Biden's plan calls for the FCC to apply a far-reaching set of government controls that the agency has not applied to any technology in the modern era, including Title II common carriers. And then Carr said that in a statement Monday, like last Monday. And then Carr previewed an important FCC vote next week, November 15th, which was today, about whether to implement the president's plan, which they said yes. Congress never contemplated the sweeping regulatory regime that President Biden asked the FCC to adopt, let alone authorize the agency to implement it, which means, okay, so Congress never contemplated the sweeping regulatory regime that President Biden asked the FCC to adopt, let alone authorize the agency to implement it. So he went and signed something in there. They didn't even do their job. We didn't know about it, right? They didn't do their job to really get clarity on it. And now it's supposed to just happen. So, and then Carr explained that the Biden administration's broadband policies are and the costs of building internet infrastructure in this country have skyrocketed due to his economic policies, which gets into policy or politics. While the FCC has been looking to expand new 5G services, it's needlessly blocked and delayed new broadband infrastructure builds because of regulatory red tape. So they're holding back that kind of stuff. The commissioner said President Joe Biden has chosen to blame the private sector and free market capitalism itself for the administration's own policy shortfalls and is pushing the FCC to adopt a one-page section of the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, Infrastructure Act, which has new rules of breathtaking scope, all in the name of digital equity. So all, I guess, we can't cover it all in this show. I don't know everything. I just know alarm bells going off. this is something that we should be giving our attention to. And so when I think of why do we got senators wanting to challenge head of a union, a fist fight in Congress, that's why, because this shit is what's happening in the background while we're laughing. And I just contributed to that laughing because I brought it to us. So that's it. Mic drop. I'm done.
10 Days of Darkness. Let's move on.
Huh? 10 Days of Darkness. Yeah. What do you think the 10 Days of Darkness is going to be?
You just read us the 10 Days of Darkness, didn't you?
See? Do you think?
I don't know. Power grab, control, we have to see it all type stuff. I mean, I don't know. That's some, that's some coincidence theorist type stuff. But, it's like you get to play. You get the word touchdown, but you have to go through all these motions to get there to the goal line to make the touchdown. So,
is it over? Is it really over? Is it not?
But you're absolutely right. Distraction, and then we do this. Right.
Yeah.
I got about
welcome
14 minutes.
14 minutes. Quickly, what else do you think your friends have regarding that ISO? Did they rebut?
Well, I mean, God, that really ties into. Well, okay. First off, let's go a little deeper here. Okay, you said that there's not a lot of. I mean, there's banks that have pushed back. Yeah. Just because the machine is running does not mean everybody is plugged in. Okay.
Oh no, right? I know that. Yeah.
Right. Yep. So, but for it to go live is a good thing per se for that system. Does that mean that XRP, XLM, et cetera, will go up in price? Does that mean they will be instantly used by the masses of banks at that moment? Probably not. I mean, just saying, it's going live. Here we go. They've already. I am very much on board with the notion that they have already tested, retested, etc. There is documents out there stating protocols on what the bank must do if you get this code, that code, this, and so on and so forth. Yes, I really wish I could say more on that, but that was given to me in some confidence. So with respect to my word to them, that's all I can kind of give you on that. But it's there. The documents are out there. So for these banks to be ISO, compliant, to conduct business in their messaging system, then that might take a little time. It's definitely going to take time for that infrastructure to roll downhill to the small bank level, or they'll just be left out.
Well, and I mean, I've been following that stuff too, and they let them. I was watching like boring bank ones, like bank conferences and summits and all these things, and they're kind of bringing them on like they had to get themselves ready, right, to a certain point. So anytime if you have an implementation of something, you have to prepare your staff, and all kinds of stuff has to fall into place. And so they had those deadlines that they wanted them to meet in order to get to the next step, to when they could turn it on and boom, everybody's using it. And I think that's where some of this stuff, where they say like the 10 days of darkness, or you're seeing some banks having issues where their deposits were messed up or whatever. Could that be? That's a whole
on that. I got more on that real quick.
Oh,
Okay, so I had a crypto client. I had a crypto client that I was on the phone with. This individual told me that they were in a bank, right? And the person in front of them was losing their cookie, not losing their cookies as in, some projectile, but they're losing their screws were starting to come loose because they were missing money out of their account, and the bank wasn't going to do anything about it. So that person gets taken aside, like, whoa, we can't have anybody melt down the bank. Oh my gosh. We'll have a we'll have a code 10. So the teller had informed my client that if the check your bank account every day, if you don't let us know within 72 hours of something's missing or this and that, we're not going to do anything. You're going to need to get a lawyer and have that lawyer go to corporate.
Remember when I did the FDIC presentation in Weekly Zoomers? I just came across it the other day. I think I'm going to revamp it and post it because it's really important for people to understand. Because this is bringing me back when you said if they don't let you know in 72 hours, if they don't let them know in 72 hours, maybe there's nothing that could be done with it, all right, whatever. And when I was doing the FDIC, I was talking about bank bail-ins instead of the bailouts. And I had come across that one video of the bankers laughing and they do it on a Sunday and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm thinking to myself, if you don't know, like what you just said, if you don't know that you need to follow a certain procedure and you're just an average person and money is missing from your account, but you didn't know that, if they didn't know that, and it's in their terms of service, right? And so when I did that presentation, remember the banks were in the process of updating their terms, or like when you sign up, they were updating all of those things. And when I was like reading different ones, and I was like, yeah, in the event of a bank failure, if you as a depositor, if you don't follow the instructions and tell them and to get yourself on the list of the people that get paid, you might get screwed, right?
Oh, you're most definitely going to get screwed.
Yeah. And so I can't talk. I mean, I can't, because I don't know. I can't remember all of that stuff. I wish that I had one of those downloadable brains where I could remember every single thing.
Oh, you mean like a Neo?
Yeah, maybe I'll be. Maybe
that'd be cool. I'd love the Neo. I'd love to do that.
But in any event, I mean, it's that is why there's just there really is so much stuff going on, and November is half over. We're halfway, and what's going to happen in the next
halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Okay, I'll never sing again. Well, that's a lie. I'll try. Sorry.
You know what, Simon? If you ever do you ever sing? Do you ever try?
No, us DJs don't sing, man. We might flow and rap a little bit, but we just keep the beats going. So yeah, that's why I DJ'd. I can dance, but I can't sing. Can't sing. You get on the ones and twos and throw down the sick beat. Yeah. You just mentioned the bail-ins. It's always done on a weekend. It's always done on a Sunday. Let's just go to our calendar and look at what day is November 19th, since that's when the system's going to come online. And that would be a holy sweet Mary. It's a 19th.
It's a cool
thing. It's a Sunday.
All I would say is right now,
that's interesting. I just think it's interesting.
Look, anybody that's watching this is what I told my girlfriend. I talked to her. I hadn't talked to her in a while, and I try not to get too conspiratorial or too out there on her or whatever. But what I said was, there's so much stuff going on right now, and there is big stuff happening with the bank. Whether it's something that's going to happen like a major collapse or whatever, or it's just a hiccup because we're transitioning from one system to another. Right? There's going to be problems. It happens. It would behoove you to get money out, cash out of your bank. Don't have all your money sitting in the same one bank. And particularly while we know that these things are being implemented, maybe have some cash on hand. Definitely have your car on full, right? Top her off. And try to have your necessities and things like that. Because we don't know what's going to happen. And this is not to be like fear mongering. This
is preparedness. This is just preparedness. That's all it is, man.
Yeah. I mean, I used to live in a place where when you got snowed in, you got really snowed in. And so it was, hey, if you're getting snowed in, I remember going to Kroger's, the closest store there was, the night before or the night of the eve of a snowstorm. And all the freaking water and all the stuff, the shelves completely bare, right? That's real. That's not like being fearmonger. That's being realistic, that if you're not prepared and, you know, your electricity goes out and it's wintertime, you know what I mean? And
hopefully you chopped the wood and brought it into the garage or your or the tent outside or something.
That was a hard life lesson for me, Simon, because I wasn't used to living somewhere when we had a well, and you know, power goes out and no water, you know. And so I don't know. I mean, these are things that I think a lot of people don't think about because they're living on the edge of whatever.
You know, and well, some people have never gone through anything like that. I mean, you know, even with COVID, I with the circles that I was already in, there was already red flags being raised there. I was like, you know what? It doesn't hurt me to go out and go get extra flour or extra rice or extra sugar. And hey, we could be locked down, or I may not be able to leave. Like that was a thing. Like, well, if one of us gets sick and it's like really kind of at one of those types of events, right? Then I better make dang sure that I don't need anything to go outside, you know? So I did that. And something else that I did that I would like to add on to your suggestions there, you know, did have some cash, had some silver, right? You know, just there, just to go, you know what, I'm willing to spend these if I have to, if anybody will take it, right? But that was like the third negotiable instrument that I was going to use for trade or to get the things I wanted. I bought cryptos with the intent to exchange those because I could do it with a QR code. I could show people how to do that on their phone. Like, oh, do you have the Cash App? Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Do this Bitcoin thing real quick and I'll send you this for the thing, you know, and you know, it's not bad. Get some things. And dude, there's nothing wrong with being ahead. Like I tell some other people on their budgets, nobody ever said you couldn't pay your bills early. Same thing. Right. Nobody ever said you couldn't get extra cash and keep it under the mattress or whatever. Nobody ever said that you couldn't go get extra supplies, whatever it may be. Even if it's you got extra ice cream, you know, because you're like, dude, if I gotta sit here, that's one of my comfort foods. Nope, I'm gonna load up on that a little bit. Make my mental state of mind okay in the darkness. So, anyways, that's all I got. 2 minutes. What else do you got to say before I got to jam?
Nothing really, except for Rosemary. You're a rock star. We love you.
Yeah, Rosemary. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us and live
and learn.
The three people that are watching on YouTube live stream.
Yeah, JRB. I think that's my brother from another mother.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for that. It really helps. And if you would share this out, please like, share, and subscribe. And you know, if we could get people to give the likes and the thumbs up and then like sharing this on their social medias, I did mine. Well, I think it will really help us. We're slowly but surely growing, and so you guys are all part of this, and you're on the ground floor with Vita Broadcasts and Beyond the Brink, and we got Dip a Toe.